Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and today we're going to take a look at how you can become a better chipper. So if you can become a better chipper, you'll definitely lower your golf score and enjoy golf more. If this is your first time to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about helping you play better golf and lowering your golf score. Every tip I make is about lowering your golf score and helping you improve your golf. So if you want to be kept up to date with all of my latest videos, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification, and then you'll be notified as every tip gets released. So today's all about how to become a better chipper. So I've got some steps here that if you can follow them, it's definitely going to make you a better chipper. So the first thing we need to consider when we chip is it's a little shot. It's not a power shot. We need control of that power, so we can benefit by standing a little bit closer to the ball. By standing closer to the ball, we have a lot more control over what we do. And we only want to stand further away when we want to create some power. With chipping, we don't want to create any power at all. So that's the first thing. The second thing, people tend to use clubs with too much loft. And I think one of the best things the average golfer can do is to start chipping with a hybrid. And if you can chip with a hybrid, you're going to find there's a lot less technique involved, and you're just going to go by feel. And we're just letting the ball roll. And here's a certain possibility here where we can actually chip with a hybrid. In fact, I'll do it now. So just by getting a hybrid golf club out, and this here, there's a little bit of rough, little bit of two types of thicknesses of grass. But all I really need to do here is just get the club in behind the ball, and I'm just thinking about making the ball roll. So it doesn't really matter about the technique. The ball's rolled on there, and it's rolled up about 2.5, 3 feet from the hole. Very little skill. It's just letting the ball roll. So that's the best way of improving your chipping, is start using clubs with less loft. And I think hybrid clubs are fantastic clubs to use. But some people don't want to use a hybrid and they insist on using clubs with loft. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's just the worse golfer you are, or the less skills you possess, hybrids make it much easier. So now we're going to hit a club with more loft. This one's a wedge. So as I said, we start with the ball a lot closer to us. I would like the ball to be a little bit further back in the stance as well. And we want to get that club resting more on the toe. So the less surface area we have that'll make contact with the ground, the easier the chip shot becomes. So by doing that, there's less of that club is touching the ground. It's only about 1 inch. If I put it down and sit it flat, I've got about 3 inches of the sole coming into contact with the ground, and it makes it easier to hit fat. The other good reason why I let the club rest on the toe and I get my hands higher at address is it helps to eliminate a bit of wrist movement. I'm not saying you shouldn't use any wrists at all, but we want to keep them to a minimum. We certainly don't want to be starting to really flick the wrists a lot during this shot. That's one of the things that I see a lot of, and it really leads to poor chipping. So if we can just get the shaft a little bit more vertical, getting the club resting on the toe, it certainly makes it easier for us to hit better chip shots. We also want to think about angle of attack. We don't want to lift the club up and chop down. So we really do want a shallow angle of attack. So I want to keep that club much closer to the ground, both on the way back and on the way through. And one of the ways we can do that is to allow a little bit of body rotation. I see a lot of people keeping the body right out of the shot, trying to be really stiff. But if you do that, you can see my angle of attack is actually I'm hitting upwards. If I can allow just a little bit of body rotation as I hit, that helps me to keep the club lower to the ground and will give me a much better contact. When I'm playing these chip shots, it's important to identify the landing area of the golf ball. When we're using a hybrid, it's not as important. We're trying to go by feel. when we use a lofted club, it is important we try and land the ball on. So I'm going to try and land this about 2 meters on the putting surface from here. So with a wedge, it probably will run out. May not get to the flag, but we'll see how I go. So I'm thinking about my landing area there. Landed 2 to 3 meters on, and the ball's gone up nicely. It's about 1.5 feet away from the hole. So you can see there that when I did play that shot, I did rotate my upper body through the shot a little bit. It was pretty good solid contact. The ball landed and it ran on quite nicely. Now, a great way to practice that if you're not used to it is the one hand drill. So if you can keep your left hand on the forearm, and if you start doing this, it doesn't work quite as well, but we're just trying to get a feel for letting that club come down low, and you can see my upper body's turning. I'm not really flipping my wrist. My wrist is just very soft. It is moving a little, but it's not flicking. So we just do that. And the ball landed on the green. And that's a great little chipping drill to try and improve your contact with these lofted clubs. So there's a fair bit in there. We're trying to get the club vertical. We're trying to shallow out the angle of attack. We're trying to let our bodies rotate through the shot and practice that little one-arm chipping drill. It's a really good way for you to practice and get better at golf. So thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.